Oh no! What did you do?
Yeah, baby.
This had better not be the length of the entire theme song, so help me God. Is it still happening?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome
That was a fucking nightmare.
to a special edition.
Oh my God, it's still happening!
It's ambient. It's going to go on for a while. It's meant for us to talk over, do an introduction or something.
No, absolutely not.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Video Game Bang. We're switching it up this week. Normally, this show would be hosted by... this is really hard to concentrate. Normally, this show would be
Just take
hosted
your headphones off. Just take them off.
by Cory, and we'd be talking about video games. But instead, this week, we're doing a web talk on a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday web talk. And we're talking about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, baby.
That can never happen again.
I'm sorry.
The artist that is responsible for what just happened clearly had a slow day at work today. Cory!
Hey, what's
Welcome
up, pizzas?
to the show.
I wasn't sure we were going to procure the rights to an actual good version. An actual, external version.
I feel like that's illegal, too.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Illegal to our ears or just illegal in terms of copyright?
Both.
No, because he changed it. It's changed enough that they're going to be like, nah, bro, you have that.
I mean, it's so close to the original. I wouldn't be surprised if we get flagged for copyright. Let's just put it that way.
Here to monitor our copyright infringements, emmaskies.
That is what I do. That is what I do here. That is my entire job here. And
you know what?
I'm very good at it.
You're very good at it. You keep us honest. And
I'm really just here to talk shit.
We just kind of, well, I say we, but others just kind of ignore it and just wing it.
A little bit.
Yeah. So Wednesday Web Talk is, sounds like I have a speech impediment when I say that.
Wednesday Web Talk.
Yeah, Wednesday Web Talk. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones is premiering in X amount of days. It's on Sunday.
Yeah.
We were going to do this on Saturday, and A, Emma's not going to be here, and B, this would drop the day after it premiered. So everything...
It'd be rendered useless.
It would be rendered useless. Everything that we would be talking about on the show would be probably either proven true or wrong before you even heard it.
So they'd be listening to like, these guys are morons.
These guys, or these guys are
clairvoyant.
psychics.
No, because it'd be after the episode, they'd be like, oh, they just watched the episode and then made a recap.
All risk,
Made
no
a recap.
reward.
All risk, no reward. But first, our sponsors, Energy Esports, Mainframe USA, Vast CG, and Oblivion Comics and Coffee, who is the sponsor of our newest segment, Curtis's Comic Corner, which will be airing on Saturday this week.
Yes, sir. And also the host of where we did, we got the Game of Thrones. We hosted our first trivia night over there at Oblivion Comics and Coffee. And
it went swimmingly.
And that comes from Emma. She's usually pretty it was great.
It went really well.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who showed. We anticipated 4 or 5 teams maybe on a good day. We ended up filling the room. We had to go steal chairs from the other building, bring them over.
Kick people out.
Kick people out.
You're just drinking coffee. Are you here for the trivia? No, then get your ass out. We're taking this chair.
Trogdor's in chat says, hey, trivia night was lit.
Hey,
thanks for showing up there.
Thank you.
We met a listener, Ryan, who just moved to Sacramento from LA and said he was such a fan of the show, and he heard us talk about it and showed up.
Yeah.
Sac PC Gaming Group, huge shout out to those guys. They're a Facebook group of Sacramento gamers who play together all the time. They showed out in full force. We had people from the Sac State Esports division come over. Kyle from the Sac Indie developers came. Macy Rose, one of my favorite cosplayers of all time, was there. So thank you to all those people, friends and family, and the people we didn't even know. Arya Ready Kids.
Arya Ready Kids came out
They were
top.
the winners.
They ended up on the throne.
My favorite thing about this were the team names. We had some pretty solid ones.
Yeah. I was going to say, what was your guys' favorite team names? One of mine was The North Remembers, and hopefully so do we. That was actually Ryan. That was the guy that we met.
Yeah.
That was his team name.
Yeah, poor guys. I think they got last place.
They did. They were so excited. So they were because we read out the top 3 teams, or it was a tie for one of them, so the top 4 teams. And, that's just kind of weird. I didn't want to call everybody out on where their scores were. I didn't want to call out everybody. And So he came up and he was like, oh, can you tell us, were we in last? And I was like, no. What was your team name? And he was like, the North members. And I was like, oh yeah, you were.
Oh, poor
Yeah,
guy.
you were.
What's fun about meeting him too is he was like, yeah, I've never seen you guys before. So, because he doesn't watch on Twitch.
Right.
And he saw, I couldn't tell like who was David, who was Cory. I knew that was Emma. She's got a lot of opinions.
I'm very glad this is my legacy.
The cool thing about him too, he actually worked on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Which is
I
awesome.
didn't catch that.
He told us he had a hat. He
I don't think Cory was with us.
I don't think I was
Was
with
it
you
just
guys.
you and me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he worked on him and his dad both worked on Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
But yeah, I wrote down some of the. I actually have all of the team names, but my favorites were "Are You Ready, Kids?"
Are you
was
ready, kids?
Arya, ready,
phenomenal.
kids? Yeah, it's got the SpongeBob.
The Brains of
The brains
Castamere.
of Castamere.
Yeah, there we go.
Loved that. And Johnny White Walker, which they came up with on the spot
On the
because
spot.
somebody had already taken their name.
What
Oh,
was the
really?
one that they wanted?
A team has no
a
name.
team has no name.
Oh, that was another good
A
one.
team
though.
has no name. They were probably like they were the ones that were there that like knew their shit.
Oh yeah,
And, like,
they're like, we're here to win.
and they called us out. Like, I read one of the questions. It was the way the question was worded was, what is the name of the sword that Jaime gives Brienne of Tarth when she goes to go find the Stark Girls? And they go, yeah, that question is worded incorrectly. I was like, I know.
She named it after he gave it to her.
What is the name that Brienne of Tarth named the sword that Jaime Lannister? They're like, thank you. I was like,
We got another one too. They corrected us. We did one. Which one of these were not a member of Robert
Kingsguard.
Baratheon's Kingsguard?
Right.
And we put Sir in front of Sandor Clegane.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, he's not a Sir.
not a Sir.
He's sure in the books he says he's not a Sir.
Yeah. I
a
was
bunch
like, I
of
know.
times. Yeah, we know.
You know what
I
they
did
didn't
it
catch
on
though?
purpose.
One of the times I read the questions and I read it was something about Winterfell. I said Winterhell to see if anybody would catch it.
I did.
I knew you would. Nobody else caught it. I was pretty disappointed in that whole group.
But yeah, so it was a good time. It was a good time.
It was
We'll
a really
be
good time.
doing it again next month.
Next month,
Yep.
are we announcing what next month's?
Nah, not
thing
quite.
is? Not quite.
Not yet. Not quite.
I-
I
We're
will
playing a
tell
little more
you.
first.
I will tell you that it is out of this world.
Maybe. We don't know.
Could be anything. Could be
be
Guardians
anything.
of the Galaxy.
Could be a boat.
Could be a boat.
Yeah. The other thing too we gotta to mention is that this show that we're doing here, this is kind of like a pilot episode, so it's not exactly. It's like a bonus VGB episode almost because this is actually Bang of Thrones, and it's a special side series we're gonna do for the duration of season 8 of Game of Thrones, and it's gonna be this episode's gonna go through RSS for everybody. But if you want to hear more of the Game of Thrones breakdowns and all this that you're going to hear and more, that's going to be on our Patreon only. So that's Patreon. Patreon.com/videogamebang and $1 per month. So you could do it for the 2 months and then never do it again. Or, stick with us, see the other content we put out there. And it's a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
So this is like the prequel.
Yeah.
This is like in the beginning of each episode, and they say like last time on Game of Thrones. Well, they don't say that, but it's implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Exactly.
I don't watch that. I don't watch the previous.
I don't either. It's
Let's
skip
start
intro.
there. Like
It's skip recap, skip intro. Let's get right into it.
Exactly.
Go. I don't know. Okay, so Emma, have you been listening to the show for any length of time? You know that Emma doesn't watch previews to movies that she's really hyped about.
Not
Or
anymore.
watch previews to TV shows that she's really hyped about, i.e. Game of Thrones.
I've never done it with TV until Game of Thrones. Like
Okay.
until this season.
Until this season.
And I was just like,
it
you know
just
what?
kind of branched over.
I don't need to see that.
Your logic makes 100% sense, though. There's only 6 episodes. You want every minute to be savored while
For
you're
the very
watching it.
first moment. And I'm really mad because fucking HBO is running all these ads on like Twitter and Instagram
Yeah.
that I keep scrolling past. And I'm like, cool, I'm just seeing the dragons fly over Sansa. Awesome. Really glad that I just saw that.
So that's the thing I was going to say is I don't know. I've been hanging out with you for too long because I'm not watching anything with the Endgame and I'm doing the same thing. Anything with Game of Thrones, I'm like, nope, scroll.
I'm so proud of you.
So Game of Thrones, we have a somewhat loose structure of how we're going to do the show tonight. Recapping where everybody is. The last time we saw everybody, where are they? And like kind of like what's going on, the state of the throne, if you will.
Okay.
I just came up with that off the top of my head.
You did?
State of the throne.
Dude.
I know. Should be in marketing. So, right now, let's talk about. Let's start at the top. Both literally and figuratively. The North. They who do we have in the North?
So if we go all the way north, we're
All
going
the
to
way
look
north.
at the Wall.
Yes.
So at the Wall right now, as far as we know, everything just went to shit. But we had the Free Folk were up there with Tormund leading them
At Eastwatch.
At Eastwatch on the sea. With Beric Dondarrion, I believe we saw in the last episode.
He was up there with him on the wall. When
Yes.
when the dragon.
When
turned
everything
down.
went to hell.
down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that Tormund is still alive. I know we lost some wildlings in there. And
Tormund is alive because I remember because it was sketchy because I just finished my rewatch. It was sketchy on whether or not he made it or not from what I can remember. But the last we saw of him, the wall was done like crashing down, and he had jumped just in time and landed on a solid piece and stood there as everything came crashing down and just kind of watched.
right, but then like a dragon came through and a bunch of White Walkers came marching through. We don't know what happened to him.
He's up at the top though.
That's where we use our fantasy,
went down.
our television brains. Like if they were going to kill off two major characters like that, they
It would
would have
be
done it more
They would
ceremoniously.
Cinematically,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
two both got to survive, get back to Jon, just in time before a giant battle.
Well, and
Yeah.
Tormund had like the ultimate plot armor in the episode where Dany has to come save them beyond the wall.
Oh, that
Where,
pissed
like,
me off.
I was so mad. Like they played up a whole thing like he's about to die. Like it was like a big moment. It was really drawn out, and then he just gets like pulled out at the last second. I was like, what kind of fucking plot armor bullshit is this?
And that's
Game of Thrones.
That takes me to one of my issues with that last series, and me and you had talked about it before the show. Seasons 1 through 6 were character driven,
Right.
Because there's source material in those books, and character driven plots are when the plot is happening because these characters are doing things.
Right.
The character doesn't have to go anywhere. He doesn't have a time to be unless that character should be at that place based off of their own wills and desires. In a plot driven thing, like the big points. Okay, a tree's gonna fall down here, and I need someone to see it. So a letter's gonna come in, and then that's gonna make this guy go here. So
Right.
the plot is driving where the characters go, rather than the characters organically existing in this plane.
Right.
So 1 through 6 felt so natural, and people really died when they died because we're living in like this kind of reality. It's based
Right.
in very much in a reality. So in that season specifically that part with Tormund, who's one of my favorite
Yeah.
characters in the
Yeah.
entire series, I actually would have been happier if he
if
had
he
died.
had died.
Wow.
I would have, just because.
I mean, I get that.
Or if they just hadn't played that up. And like
Yeah.
they brought like a bunch of red shirts on that mission
yeah.
where you were
That's
just
true.
like
Say,
they were
who the-
there
who the-
just to die.
Who the fuck are you?
And
Like
then-
they had the main guys that all had names and everything, and then there was like a bunch of other people with them, and you're like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they're all the ones that are about to die.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
like show you that this is a dangerous mission without actually having to kill any of their
I
characters.
thought it was weird that they were wearing red furs.
That's terrible.
I was curious on how they got the furs to be
That's
red. but-
terrible.
The only person that we lost in that exchange was Thoros of Mir, right?
Yeah, the
Who
priest.
we did like was brought back just for that anyway. Like he hadn't been around for much.
Yeah, but basically what it does is it means that now Beric is on his last life.
Yeah, and they even say that.
So that pushes his character forward. So
Yeah.
now he knows that whatever he's doing, this is what
This is it.
what the red priest or whatever the what's the god they do?
The
The-
God of Fire.
The God of Light.
Yeah,
of Light.
the Lord of Light.
Lord of Light,
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
it's like, what does the Lord of Light have for him? We might find out because that's his only character plot.
Right.
What's the
Yeah.
Lord of Light been bringing him back for?
That's true.
Now we get to find
Now
out.
we get to find out.
So going off of the wall, heading a little bit south on the way from the wall to Winterfell, we have Jon and Dany getting it on in their cabin, which is weird.
This is gonna be okay. Let's start there too. So, do we
we're just gonna
want
start there.
shame from them?
You mean when they find out that they're related?
Yes. So what is?
I feel like Dany is not going to be super bothered by it, but Jon is. Because Dany comes from a whole family where they married brothers and sisters for centuries.
Yeah.
And Jon grew up in a world where that is not acceptable.
So she starts the series with one brother grabbing her boob, and then she ends the series with her
Oh.
nephew grabbing her boob.
That's horrible. That was bad.
Yeah.
You're
How
a
long
bad
have you been
person.
hanging on to that?
How long was he hanging on to it?
Damn!
This is bad. Anyway. Oh my God. Are you okay?
That's my favorite thing about being sick is that I laugh like Robert Baratheon now.
Good God.
Wine!
Oh my God.
it to him, didn't we, Ned?
How needs to help that man.
I loved Robert Baratheon. I'm not gonna lie.
He was good. He was an idiot. But
I watched an interview with the actor, and he's like talking about like because it's ending, so they're interviewing everybody, and everybody has been on the show, and he was talking about how like he was not a great king, but then you see what followed him, and it's kind of like, oh, maybe he wasn't so bad after all. Kind of miss Robert Baratheon right now.
So with Jon and Dany, we have people that we assume are there, even though we don't see them. Jorah, Missandei, or Missandei wasn't with them. So Jorah, Varys, Tyrion, I believe they're all with her.
We saw Tyrion.
So
speaking of seeing Tyrion, what do we think about
his
he knew what he was watching the cabin door. He knew what was happening in there, and he looked so grim.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm really hoping it's not is that they're not gonna play some plot where he's in love with her.
I doubt that.
Because
way late in the game for that.
Way late in the game for that. I don't want it to be that kind of a thing. What I'm thinking it could be is that he's just gonna get worried that because like I think he knows the same way she knows is that like her most powerful bargaining chip is the fact that she can marry into an alliance.
Yes, and I think
he's gonna kind of be like, you can't just do this with whoever you want. Like this is a dangerous thing. You can't just like you need to keep an eye on what's going on.
He was named King of the North, and so he was one of the competitors for the throne, and now she's with him, and is that
and then once they find out that he is actually the heir to the Iron Throne, that's going to be a whole nother layer of shit.
What if he knew? Knows.
How would he know? Nobody knows.
Well, Bran knows.
True. I guess that's true.
Bran knows,
and he told Sam.
But as far as before that moment, like nobody knows.
Sam knew they were related somehow because of what he read at the Citadel. So,
but he didn't know that Jon was the child. Sam had that piece of it, and Bran had the piece where Jon was the child of Rhaegar and Lyanna.
Sam had the marriage. They were married.
So when you put those together, you get somebody who's the heir to the Iron Throne. Because if they had been together, but everybody in the world believes that Rhaegar kidnapped and raped Lyanna, that makes him essentially a bastard, and he would not be heir to the throne.
He would be a sand.
But because they were married.
I don't think Jon would want it, to be honest.
No,
I don't.
Even
when he finds out, he's going to...
No.
I think... So one of the sources I use a lot is on YouTube. It's called Bridge 4.
Yeah.
And he goes into some depth on a lot of these fan theories and things. And one of them is that throughout this entire series, Jon will find out he's a Targaryen, but still remain a bastard. Like, I don't think he'll publish the information or something.
Right.
And he'll just and I don't think he'll become a Stark. I think, because I guess the first line in the book for him is something like, there were times, not many, but a few, where Jon Snow was happy to be a bastard.
Yeah.
And the way George R.R. Martin writes in this poetic, usually the first part always ties into the exact last part. Okay. So like maybe it starts off with that line tying his identity to a bastard.
Yeah.
And then that's because he's going to end up really what he thought was his weakness be his greatest strength.
That would be interesting. The unfortunate thing, so the optimist in me really hopes that it's just going to be one of those things where it's not a problem because he doesn't want the throne anyway. But I feel like it 100% is going to be a problem because if you watch the behind the episode that they did on it, because it just plays after the episode if you're watching it on HBO Go, like it's going to be a problem. They're very clear that it's going to be a problem. Because the way he words it, he talks about it, he's like, they kind of felt like they just, because he talks about, because it's the same episode, because they're disgusting, so they overlay the scene of them having sex with the scene of them revealing who he is. I was like,
right, exactly, yeah.
I was like, you did not need to put these together.
Yeah.
You're bad people. But so he's talking about that, and he's like, Jon and Dany are both in a place where like they found somebody that, they are kind of kindred spirits, and they feel like, they can make each other happy, and they're just in a good place right now. And then they're going to find out that he's the heir to the Iron Throne, and that's suddenly not going to be so good anymore. And like just the way that he words it, you're like, okay, this is gonna be a bad thing. This isn't gonna be something that they just kind of like, oh, I don't.
So does he get a direct line because? You're right.
He's But here's how I think it's gonna be a problem though. I think that Cory's right in that Jon's not gonna want the throne. Because he barely wanted King of the North.
But
he
Dany
accepted it reluctantly. But Dany wants the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Dany knows that he technically has the claim to the throne, and she's not going to believe him when he says that he doesn't want it.
I mean, he can officially abdicate, which is essentially what Aemon Targaryen did.
Yeah.
The one at the wall. He abdicated the throne. He was supposed to be king.
So then so
John could abdicate the throne.
So John could do that, but I
But
wonder if he's going to, or
that's
what.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm sure Tyrion is gonna have a lot to say about that, as far as like, you need to just fucking kill this guy. Like, I like Jon Snow, but we're here to do what we're here to do, and you can't have this.
So I
think
think that's where the problem is. I think it's gonna drive a wedge between them. But I don't know. It's Game of Thrones. If it was any other show, I would say, but eventually they're gonna end up together anyway, and it's gonna be king and queen. She's gonna be the queen, like she's gonna have the throne, and he's gonna be like by her side. But it's Game of Thrones, so...
Ugh. Who do you think would be a better ruler, though, overall? Jon or Dany? I'm conflicted.
I'm conflicted, too.
She's more aggressive than he is, but she has more experience than he does.
I think...
on a bigger scale, she does, but...
Yeah, because running the wall is not anything like running a continent.
He got him killed once.
Exactly.
It was pretty hard.
I think Dany would be better between the two of them. Because she wants it. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you want a job, you just do it better.
I think there's two things. I think there's one who would be better in the sense of, like, for the people and just in general. But I don't think that's sustainable in that universe. So, because I think Jon Snow makes the best decisions. Like, when he came down, especially, like, those ones back-to-back where he had to go back and forth with Sansa, when the people were saying, like, you can't leave the North or strip them of their houses, the Karstarks and the Umbers.
Right.
And he did the right thing and brought those kids. It was like, hey.
I mean, that's arguable that that was the right thing to do.
So.
There's arguments to say that.
I think it was the tougher of the decisions. So, but I'm just saying, from where I stand, I think he, like, on those types of decisions, he has better heart and would do great. But he'd end up getting himself killed like he did at the wall. He'd upset the courtiers, and they would stab him in the back first chance they got. Where Dany doesn't take shit, and she's gonna do fiery decisions right when she wants. They're the best in her heart at the time,
right?
But she's not gonna, like when she told Varys, like, hey, if you have an issue with me, you better fucking tell me, because if you go around my back, the first sign, we're chopping your head off.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not chopping your head off. I'm going to have my dragons burn you alive.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to get burnt alive. Jon Snow would never have even been thinking, to question, like, a Varys or...
Yeah.
Well, that's why he, like Melisandre. He's like, you're banished.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah.
So...
Which was the easier option. He should have just killed her.
You think so?
That was a much more humane option. She burned a child alive.
I think for him...
You should have killed her.
I think for him, yes... But she also brought him back from the dead. So I think in the mindset of Jon Snow, there was a debt that had to be paid, and he paid it by
allowing her to live.
She saved his life. He saved her life.
Now we're get the hell out of here.
The next time I see you,
I will kill you.
I will kill you.
Yeah.
I think Dany. Corey, I think you're right in the sense of Jon making better decisions or. More noble decisions on the spot, but I think you're right in that that's gonna get him in trouble, and I think that's where Dany comes into play. Dany has a more aggressive mindset. Like she will be a benevolent ruler. Don't cross her, and even in one of the episodes, they talk about how she has like a fiery temper, just like her dad did. Mm-hmm. And I forgot who was in the scene. I think Tyrion was in the scene. And he's like, well, luckily she chose her hand well.
Right. Yeah. So she chose a group of counselors who will keep her from her own worst instincts.
Right. Which is where
caution
Tyrion
her against them.
I think that's where Tyrion comes into play as Hand of the Queen. Yeah. And then if Jon and Dany stay together, then that's where Jon and Tyrion kind of come into play. Is like they're the heart, she's the mind.
Yeah, Tyrion has talked her off the ledge a few times because she was going to kill Jorah.
Yeah,
for sure. That one time when he came back with him, and then she's like, "All right, if you want to be my hand, what do you think I do?"
Yeah,
and then he talked his way out of getting Jorah safe. That's true. And then Jorah comes right back again.
Of course he does. Because he's in love with a woman 50 years younger than him that he met when she was 13.
Khaleesi.
Have you heard his regular speaking voice?
No.
It is miles different. He does not sound anything like that. It's ridiculous.
I was disappointed by Jon Snow on SNL.
That's just his voice.
When he was talking in his normal voice, I hate it. He should only talk like Jon Snow.
Yeah, why is he laughing? Jon Snow's brooding.
He doesn't laugh.
He doesn't laugh.
Stop.
Why does he have a clean? Why is his hair shorter? Why does he have clean? No.
That was so sad. He shaved the beard and he cut his hair, which he's contractually not allowed to do when he's filming. And I was just like, oh, it's over.
And then his wife was like, oh. Well, when can you grow the beard back?
Yeah, if you haven't watched that, go watch that.
Okay, so
his SNL monologue was
this
real
is
good.
this is still on theme because it's Kit Harington. I think my favorite line of that was, "What are we gonna do for money? Because you kept saying I'm king of the North. We can have Uber Eats every night."
That was good.
God. So with all of them, so we had Jorah, Varys, and Tyrion, and we are assuming, I think, that the Hound and Gendry are with them as well. Because again, like, you don't see it, but we assume they're with them. I just need Gendry to be with them because I need Gendry to get to Winterfell with them. I need a Gendry and Arya reunion.
Do you think that's gonna be? Do you think that's gonna be a ship? Do we think that's gonna be like a final couple?
I don't even care. I don't care romantically. I just want them to like see each other again. I want her to know that he's alive. I'm just so excited for all the reunions.
I don't think Arya ends up with somebody.
No.
I don't think she
I
ends
think that
up
would be
with somebody.
boring.
I think it'd be boring and it'd be counter to her character. Her whole persona is that she's a lone wolf. Because she's a Stark.
Yeah, she's a Stark.
Snap. But no.
No, because they have that whole thing of the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Well, yeah.
So she's not a lone wolf.
Okay.
You fake fan.
Okay, but in the sense of she's not a lady. She's not going to go and marry somebody and have like have an estate. Like, no, she's a fucking assassin. Like, she does her own thing. She's not going to have like this husband or whatever.
I don't know. I think
on her own.
If it was anybody, I'd like it to be Gendry just to finally unite the Stark and Baratheon house. Because that's something that they'd been doing, and that's actually one of the reasons that this whole thing started to begin with.
I just like Gendry.
So then I could see, in the sense of poetic symmetry for the show, yeah, I could see that happening.
Because Lyanna Stark was supposed to marry Robert Baratheon before Rhaegar stole her away. Like,
and then he started an entire... He didn't steal her away. He did not steal her. She went willingly.
Well, yeah.
But he did a little schmoozing when he put that crown on her head. You know, he started flirting.
And then they were supposed to be joined together when when Ned became Hand of the King.
That's right,
Sansa
and Joffrey,
which
fell through. So this
I love like they always have those moments in the early seasons with Joffrey where Sansa would make some comment about, you know, the noble lion or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, and everybody's like, Joffrey's a Baratheon. And we're all just like, no,
he's not.
Like, nobody treats him like a Baratheon. Everybody, like, he dresses like a Lannister. He looks like a Lannister, but like,
he acts like a Lannister.
That's right. Legally, he's supposed to be a Baratheon.
Yeah. So your thing with Gendry, he's going to be super important. Like, I knew he wasn't going to die immediately when he went on that mission.
Well, they need him to forge weapons.
Yeah, that's what, and you're going to get that shot of him shirtless, I'm sure, in a hot thing, fucking making some dragon glass weapons
with his Thor hammer.
Yeah.
So that's who we've got on the way to Winterfell.
From Dragonstone to Winterfell.
From the Wall to Winterfell. Because remember, he went north of the Wall with them.
No, I know, but they went to Dragonstone.
Because they ended with the battle where Dany's dragon died. Right?
No, I'm 90.
Oh, no, you're right. Because there was that whole moment with Theon that I didn't give a shit about. And I just remembered that Theon exists.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Because they sailed from the Wall to Dragonstone. And now they're going to go from Dragonstone to Winterfell. I'm like, you could have just gone there in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. Theon exists.
Because, because they had to go to King's Landing from the Wall.
Yeah,
they went to King's Landing. And then they went back to Dragonstone.
Like, forgetting half the shit.
Yeah. And then now they're going to Winterfell.
Fucking Theon. I don't give a shit about Theon.
Yeah.
I am so mad that his shitty redemption arc comes at the expense of Yara, who is a phenomenal character and a 1,000 times better character
better character than
I was so mad. Euron is a shit character. Early 2000s Bam Margera. It's 100%. As soon as he walked in, I was like, Bam Margera. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah.
And he's the worst. And we're supposed to, like... He took Yara, but didn't kill her, and then Theon ran away like a little fucking bitch baby, because that's what he is. And now he's like, oh, I'm going to go rescue her. No.
Yeah.
Your horrible redemption arc should not be coming at the expense of a stronger, better, smarter character than you that the show just fucking nerfed just so he could, not be a shithead anymore. Ugh, I'm over it.
I don't know if because does he know she's alive? He doesn't know she's alive.
That's his whole. He's going to rescue Yara.
Believes that she is.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, because Euron says I have your sister, she's alive.
Oh,
kneel to me
when
now.
they all got together. That's right.
And then his season ends when he goes up to all the people, all the Ironborn that are with him on Dragonstone, and he's like, "We're gonna go rescue Yara."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Fuck you, we're not doing what you say," and they get into that fight.
He fights the one guy, kills him.
Yeah, which. Somehow he wins that fight because the guy tries to kick him in the dick, which he doesn't have anymore. Somehow that doesn't still hurt to get kicked right in the pelvis.
You still got a bone there, dude.
I think with I like Euron as a villain, though. I think he's good.
Him.
I think what's good about him is I was worried that after Ramsay, I don't know, then all you have left is Cersei.
Not a Ramsay.
So you want a sociopath?
No, he's not. But he's villainous in his own right, and they did a good job of making him seem dangerous. He went toe to toe with all those sand snakes, to show he's not just another pushover villain.
Yeah.
This is a guy he's going to give a good fight when he goes down eventually. And there's theories out there on who's going to take him down. So, Theon makes the most
If it's
sense.
not Yara, if Theon kills him and not Yara, I'll be pissed. If Theon gets anything at the expense of Yara's character, I'll be so mad.
Game of Thrones canceled.
I heard I won't go into the exact theory then, but there's one that would really set you off because there's one where
Yara dies.
He kills both of them.
So fucking stupid. So that he can take the
no on accident. It's super crazy and it's all based. We'll go into another
It's
time.
stupid.
Yeah.
I just hate Theon. I think he should have died in Ramsay's captivity. That would have been the best option for that character.
Is that so? At what point did you start hating Theon? Did you start hating him?
Oh, as soon as he turned on them.
Yeah.
As soon as he turned on them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't know if you just because he was always he was loyal, but he was kind of a dick.
I mean, he was a douchebag
the whole time, so I didn't know if you just
because he just kind of. I mean, he was exactly what it was. He was just a stupid teenager who thought that he knew a lot more than he did and thought he could do a lot more than he could and got in way over his head. And then whatever. I just hate Theon. He's just a bad character. They should have killed him off. With Ramsay, they should have killed him off.
It would have made sense because then you kind of he got justice.
Because everything that comes after Ramsay has been at the expense of stronger female characters. It came at the expense of Sansa. It's coming at the expense of Yara. Yeah. Everything that pushes him up and tries to recreate a good character from him comes at the expense of stronger women.
Yeah, he rescued Sansa. Yeah.
And that whole Sansa storyline again wasn't in the books. They made that up. Just to give him a better redemption arc, I guess. That none of that happens in the books. I'm mad about it.
All right, so in Winterfell we have
Arya and Sansa and Bran, Samwell Tarley, and then all of their kind of Winterfell advisors and the northern families and things. And Gilly, of course, and their son. And I feel like that's it because Peter's dead now. Brienne is Brienne should be back there, so Brienne and Podrick should be with them, I believe, in Winterfell, because they went to King's Landing with the party and then should have come back.
Who's Brienne gonna end up with?
Nobody.
I think she's
she's definitely ending up with somebody.
Why does she have to end up with anybody?
Because she is.
She's just gonna end up being no. You know what? She's gonna end up with Arya, and they're just gonna be a badass team.
Why are you so against romance?
Why are you so for romance?
I want love.
I don't care.
In my storylines,
I don't care for it.
Because I think they've been building up. Here's another theory that's a little easier to explain though, because you know how Cersei has her prophecy of a younger, more beautiful coming to take everything she holds dear. Mm-hmm. The only thing she holds dear right now is Jaime. And they've been playing this kind of flirty love angle between Jaime and Brienne.
Right.
So there's a theory saying that Brienne is the younger, more beautiful, and that it's going to be Jaime who ends up killing her.
There's a much easier theory. Younger, more beautiful would be Dany. Obviously, and taking Jaime away in the sense of we're moving forward a little bit in the sense of where everybody is in King's Landing. Jaime just left King's Landing, assumingly to go fight in the north for Dany, and Jon.
Well, I mean, we don't know that. I think he's going north, but we don't know what his intentions are. I don't know that he's ready to commit to the other side.
I think his intentions are to honor the vow that he made to go and help them fight. So,
well, that is.
So, in that sense, especially from Cersei's perspective, she, Dany just took everything that she holds dear.
I think that could be interpreted that way, but I think Maggie the Frog's prophecy is Cersei's storyline. Like her whole everything she does and all the paranoia she has
is going back to that thing.
Yeah, so even if it
becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it wasn't true what she said, she's self-fulfilled it in her attempts at not making it happen.
Yeah, which always happens.
And the last part of that is her death. Like she's gonna die. So I think her death is going to be tied to the prophecy, so that payoff.
I think Jaime 100% is going to kill her. That's got to be how it ends. Jaime's going to kill her.
In chat, Steven is saying Jaime's got to kill Cersei because of the prophecy.
Yeah.
There's that prophecy, and then there's even a smarter scene I saw someone do in season 7 in one of the first 2 episodes where they're talking on that map, in that room.
Yep.
Is he standing on like the north or something?
He's standing on what's called the fingers.
Oh, okay.
So, and you use your fingers to strangle because the idea is maybe he's going to strangle her.
That's a reach.
I'm just saying.
That's a reach.
I'm just saying.
You know what, though? Hang on. It may be a reach, but stuff like that happens in Game of Thrones all the time.
And you know what? The only way I could accept that is because it's post-books. That is something I could see Benioff and Weiss coming up with, but not George R. Martin.
Guys, okay, for this scene, what if he was standing on the fingers... Foreshadowing, he's going to choke
I'm
Cersei.
here for that kind of stuff because even like in this last, I'm doing my watch through now.
That better not happen.
And when Jon Snow gets to Dragonstone, and he's walking, and the thing that Tyrion says to him before is like he says something about the Starks, and then Jon Snow says, "Good thing I'm not a Stark," and then the dragon flies over his head because he's a Targaryen. Like. I really think that was meant to be like that.
It's a little on the nose.
It was super on the nose, but only if you knew.
True.
I'm not a Stark.
At that point, most of us did.
You know, like...
Spot on dragon.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow!
That's 2 I got tonight.
So I'm excited to see the dynamic with Arya and Sansa continue this season. I'm so excited for the Arya-Jon reunion.
Yeah.
I make myself cry about this at least once a week.
She does, all the time. She'll be talking to us, in our Facebook group, and she's like, I just thought about when Jon and Arya meet, and she still has the sword, and she starts crying. I'm like, what?
You know what's gonna be?
You don't even know that's what's gonna happen.
Oh my God,
you know what's gonna be? You know what's gonna ruin it for you, Emma? Is if they look at each other
and just do like the cool guy nod.
Do the cool guy nod? No, but then he goes, the pointy end. Or something like that.
Oh
he uses like it could be so cliche.
No.
Did you stick him with the pointy end? It's gonna be something that terrible.
Oh my God. No, because like they're gonna see each other. He's gonna know that she's alive. He's gonna be so happy to see her, and then he's gonna see that she still has the sword, and then he's gonna you kept it all these years, and she's gonna be like, you know what? When I went to Bravos, they took everything from me. I gave up everything. I gave up my name, and I couldn't give up the sword that you gave to me.
What are you gonna do though? When she gets there, it's gonna end up being like Red Wedding status. Where she's going to get to the gate, and that's when the White Walkers are going there.
That's terrible.
And
because they showed some stills, or I accidentally scrolled past some stills of the show, so I know that.
So they do meet up together?
Not them, but there's a still of Dany sitting at the Lord's table in Winterfell. So like everything's chill.
I don't know.
But so yeah, what's gonna be terrible is if they like walk in and just like cool guy nod, and he's like, "Yo, you alive?" And she's like, "Yo, I'm alive." And then that's it. Like that's all I get.
Oh no, they'll
you're gonna like complain about that in all caps.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. It's gonna be. And then I need the Arya and Jon reunion. I need the Arya and Gendry reunion. Not Genji. Gendry.
I need healing.
I need Arya and the Hound reunion.
Wait, you said Tyrion and Gendry. No, I want to see Tyrion and Podrick.
Yeah, that'll be good.
They
just saw each other
at King's Landing.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet in my rewatch. Sorry.
Tyrion and Sansa. That's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah, that'll be. I like them.
What if they end up getting back together?
Why are you like this? Why are you trying to pair every woman in this show off with a man?
I mean, I like love, and I think they'd work together.
Why was your question not who's Jon gonna end up? Who's Jaime gonna end up with? You didn't ask about any of the men, all right?
Well,
you didn't ask for any of the men. You only asked for the women.
God.
Okay, so following down the map after Winterfell, we have.
I don't even care. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'll give you.
Re-examine your personal biases.
Who's going to end up with Tormund?
Nobody. I don't care.
I just want to know. That's going to be the my spinoff of this podcast. Who's going to end up with who?
That's terrible.
And then spinoff of the spinoff.
That's all it's going to be.
Never work.
Yo, who do you think the Night King's going to get with?
Good God.
Fucking Arya's sword.
Melisandre, probably.
What I'm curious to see is how Bran and Sam are going to reveal Jon's lineage. Like, are they going to tell just Jon? Are they going to tell Jon and Dany? Is it going to be one of those moments where it's like, we want to talk with you privately, and he's like, anything you say to me, you can say to her. And I just want to know how that's going to go down.
I think they're definitely going to figure out a way to tell Jon by himself.
Yeah.
Because he needs time to brood. Obviously.
That's why they pay him the big
bucks. His contract. Yeah. There's even a line when they're in Dragonstone when Jon's out there brooding on the cliff, and Tyrion's like, well, I came out how to brood, but you look a lot better brooding than I do, so
oh yeah, that's right,
making it kind of hard for me to brood right now.
That's the episode I just watched. Yep.
Okay, so after Winterfell, I think the only other place that matters
is King's Landing, because Highgarden fucking gone.
Highgarden's gone.
Everything in between is like nobody gives a shit about.
It's basically demolished.
Yeah.
By one army or the other.
Yeah. So and King's Landing at this point is basically just Cersei, the Mountain, and Qyburn. That's like really all that's left. And Cersei pregnant.
Right, Cersei's pregnant, and then so we have Jaime on the road. We don't know where Bronn is.
That's right. I don't know where the fuck Bronn is. He might still be in King's Landing.
He might still be in King's
Although we know that they're not going to have anything together because they don't do scenes together.
That sucks when the outside stuff kind of ruins it.
So there's not going to be anything with Bronn and Cersei.
Which is fine because I don't
need
care
that anyway.
enough about those two characters to have anything.
Right.
I wonder why Jaime didn't grab Bronn and didn't have the two of them right off together. Especially because Bronn, like...
He's already asked so much of him without unnecessarily.
Without actually paying him anything.
And when going through with Jaime, like, he's really honorable. Like, even though he's on the wrong side of things and does, bad shit sometimes. Like, there's only a few things he's done in the series that are, like, true villainry. Like, Emma talked about
pushing Bran off.
Pushing Bran out the window, yeah.
Yeah, or the raping of his sister.
That too.
That's a little thing, too.
So in my rewatch, it's kind of one of those things that, like, you almost forget about it because it's never brought up again.
Yeah.
It is never addressed. Yeah. It doesn't change anything about the story. They just decided to throw in a scene where Jaime rapes Cersei for no fucking reason. It's not even in the book.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No. Isn't that why she's pregnant now?
That was way long ago. That's when Joffrey dies. That's season 4. She wouldn't be pregnant in season 7.
That's when Joffrey died.
No, because they've still been sleeping together.
I thought it was when Tomlin died.
No, it's when Joffrey died.
Oh, that's right. Because now that she's queen and like pretty much everyone's dead, she's like, I don't give a fuck. Like yeah, that's right. Okay. All right.
So he's done that. Him killing his cousin was another one of those kind of crazy ones.
Oh yeah,
to get out of the prison.
His survival instinct. He did something pretty reckless. But beyond that, like the way he handled Olenna was pretty humane.
Well, and all the evil shit that he's done has been to protect Cersei.
Well, all the evil shit that he did, also, if you think about it, talking about killing his cousin, it all came before his trip with Brienne back to King's Landing. I think that Brienne.
Oh, Brienne.
That trip on the way there, I think really changed him in a lot of ways and changed the character. And he opened up to her. She opened up to him. She's like one of the only people that knows exactly like why he killed.
See, that was a good
king.
redemption arc.
Like, yeah, I think that's one character where they did a really good job of redeeming him, and then he, raped his sister, and then and then they moved on from there.
Well, even early on, they laid the seeds that he was actually honorable in his fight with Ned.
Yeah.
Like when he's fighting him, and then the dude fucking, hits his ankles behind him, and then he fucking fucks that dude up.
Yeah.
And then Tywin even calls him out. He's like, "Why didn't you kill him?" He's like, "Well, because someone stepped in." He's like, "Yeah, so why didn't you kill him?"
Yeah.
Because he actually has honor, unlike the rest of his family. So he's super redeemable character. Or at least that's the way they've intended for him to be.
Yeah.
So and then, of course, arguably one of the most important characters in King's Landing, the wildfire. All that wildfire is still under the city.
That's very true.
She only blew up the Sept of Baelor.
Do we think that the White Walkers are going to make it all the way to King's Landing?
I was just going to say, if they make it that, then boom, light the wildfire. Yeah. That's it.
Ooh, that would be.
You just have to hand them the city. You'd have to evacuate everybody and essentially hand it over and be like, we're just going to lose this.
They're not going to evacuate the city.
Well, Cersei wouldn't, but if the rest of them are there.
Or maybe they do really pull an everybody dies type scenario and some of the bravest warriors stay behind to lure them as many White Walkers in before exploding the whole thing.
You think Jon Snow? Then I could see that being Jon Snow. Jon would do that.
Like how he goes out.
But then he didn't die because he's unburnt too or some shit like that.
I mean, he is a Targaryen.
Shit.
But, you know, who else was a Targaryen? Viserys.
That's true. Yeah, he wasn't unburnable. I don't know.
But they didn't burn him.
I mean, he did die of burns. It just wasn't fire. It was molten gold. But Dany can't be burned. Like, when she grabs hot metal, it doesn't burn her.
Yeah. So
his skin, boiled
that
off.
could be a thing, too. Maybe Dany stays behind because she can do that trick. She did the same trick with the...
Although I wonder if wildfire would hurt her.
I was going to say, I wonder if because wildfire is made after dragon fire. Well, that's because dragon fire doesn't kill her.
It's a whole lot.
This is the thing about Game of Thrones. There's so many
These are the questions we have.
These are the questions we have, and then we're going to answer on Bang of Thrones. Okay, so now we know what everybody is.
Who do you think dies? Who's your, this person is 100% dead?
Melisandre. She's 100%
well, we know that. We know that.
Yeah, she prophesized it.
Because she said she has to die. That's a weak-ass answer. Who do you think is going to die?
You said who's 100% going to die.
That's a coward's
answer.
Somebody.
No, that's somebody who
answered.
Well, another one, it's also could be considered a coward's answer, but Varys. Because Melisandre tells him, basically, that he's going to die.
She's like you, I will die in this strange country.
So I think they're both pretty much goners.
I don't want anybody to die.
Well...
I don't want anybody good to die. Cersei can die. Cersei's 100% going to die.
I don't know. I don't think she's going to die.
Game of Thrones is funny like that, though. Yeah. It doesn't follow the typical tropes, and I could see them keeping Cersei alive.
Yeah, I could see that, too.
She's probably not going to be queen.
No, definitely not going to be queen.
But she'll be alive.
Nah, I think she dies. Because I think that's Jaime's big climactic arc, is killing Cersei.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if that part of the prophecy is going to come true... That would be the kind of the thing that tells us about self-fulfilling prophecies, though. Is if she goes through all this and ends up getting swatted down and just being not dying, then she realizes that her nightmare came true all because
of her.
Yeah,
which would also be very Game of Thrones.
Yeah, full circle.
Another, Jaime could die too. It could be him killing Cersei the way he kills Cersei or whatever. Means that he dies too, or something like that, because it would be kind of poetic. They wiped out these houses. These houses were wiped out of the country because of them, and now the Lannister house is gone. Because they're the only two left. Oh, Tyrion. True. Never mind.
God damn it, Webb.
I don't think Tyrion's going to die.
I don't think... Okay, so...
I hope not.
Let me flip this question. I'm going to tell you who I don't want to die. For sure, I don't want Tyrion to die. I don't want Arya to die.
Don't want Sansa to die.
Sansa. But I don't want Sansa to die, but before I don't want Sansa to die. Tyrion, Arya, Dany, and Jon. Those are the four that I don't want to die. And then after that...
I think either Dany or Jon is going to die. I don't think both of them are going to live.
Which
fucking sucks, because I want both of them to live. They're my favorites.
I don't think both of them are going to live either, but that's who I don't... I don't want them to die.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think one of them's going to... I think that's the only way Jon ends up on the throne is
Dany dies.
Dany dies.
You have no idea how fucking mad I would be. Can you imagine if they built up one of the best female characters ever? They spent 7 seasons building her up to the throne only to have her die at the finish line and have a man take her place. Can you fucking imagine my rage?
Yeah, I can.
I think you're thinking about it wrong. I think your rage is misplaced. Because having the female character that they've built out for 7 seasons end up doing the most heroic thing and giving their lives, that's the epitome of a hero.
And that's a man writing that shit is what that is.
No, because a man would always do I think the trope would be a man would always write, well, I'm the big strong man, so
I'll die.
Of course I have to be the one to die because you can't do that. So I think I just reversed I backed that thing down, flipped it, and reversed it on
Yeah,
you.
absolutely did not. That would be bullshit.
So
That would be absolute bullshit.
there's very, very few times when movie lines and TV lines really coincide with life, and this is one of those times when you tried to flip that on Emma. It
Did not work.
dodgeball. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It did not.
I think it's true. Who knows?
Like, that would be the most bullshit of just like, oh, well, she's still a strong female character because, you know, we took the thing that she wanted and she's been working her entire life for, but, you know, it was her choice. Yeah, no, that's fucking bullshit. I need to see my baby realize her dreams that she has worked so hard for and not have somebody step in at the fucking 9th inning and be like, you know what? I'm going to let y'all finish, but...
Emma, this is Game of Thrones. If you think that it's going to end the way anybody wants it to,
that's fine.
you haven't been paying attention.
As long as that's not what it's going to be.
That's a line from Game of Thrones.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Tyrion
Yeah.
says it, yeah. But it's
I
true.
thought you were going to say, if you think this show doesn't hate women, you haven't been paying attention, which... There can also be an argument made for that.
And to that point, that kind of makes it even more likely that that's what's going to happen.
I'm just going to say, I will be so mad.
And that's what's going to be so great about this next thing, because like the pace at which 7 went, every episode
God, everything
had
happened so
so
fast.
many big
So
events.
many things.
And
they
we have less episodes.
Yeah, there's less episodes, and we still have a lot of storylines.
Yeah.
So whether they die without fulfilling those storylines, which I actually am a fan of, there's nothing more jarring in a story when a person has a arc.
Yeah.
You know, we're saying like, oh, well, he's obviously got this, that, and the other thing before he does this, and then he can die or whatever. Usually they'll be like mid-storyline, no, motherfucker's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything
fine.
he had, it doesn't matter anymore.
That's fine. What I don't want to happen is the show to end without arcs completing.
Yeah.
I
Where like
hate
they're
when
still
show-
alive and they're just not done.
Yeah, when
Oh,
shows and movies
yes.
die
Like
with
Sopranos
like,
it.
yeah. Oh, I watched that documentary that on Netflix, the 2000s, and
Yeah.
that was one of the things, and how widely like hated the Sopranos. Like, is he alive? Is
This
he
is a
not alive?
coward
Like,
move.
what's going to happen? Because they set it up as something's going to happen, and then black screen, and it's like that. But
It's a bitch move.
I hate when TV shows and movies leave loose ends. Like, if there's not going to be a sequel, then don't leave loose ends. And there's not going to be a sequel. So everybody fucking better fulfill their prophecy.
So one of my favorite characters we haven't really talked too much about yet, I'm just curious on what you guys think his storyline is going to end up like, is the Hound. Do you think we're going to get Clegane Bowl?
I think so.
I think, yeah,
we have to.
we're gonna fight. We're gonna stick
Well,
Clegane versus Clegane.
Here we go, because this is another part where two characters have a big plot twist that are going to coincide when it comes to the Mountain, because he's still one of the few on Arya's list.
Yeah.
So is Arya going to give up the glory of killing the Mountain so that
Or are they
going
to take him down together?
And maybe, but
Because he is. I don't know that Sander can take him down.
no, I don't think he can either.
I don't think he can do that. But him and Arya together, that would be badass.
That-
That is the reunion I'm here for.
That okay, but at the same point, there's been a lot of people on Arya's list that have died with
Without
not at her hand,
yeah.
and she doesn't seem too broken up about it. As long as they're dead, that's fine.
Yeah.
And so I can see it being very like the Mountain or the Hound killing the Mountain because of all the shit that the Mountain did.
Or the
to
Mountain
him.
killing the Hound and then Arya picking up the sword and taking him out.
Beric Dondarrion has stuff to finish up with him too, though. The Mountain killed him for
True.
the first time.
Yeah.
True, but he doesn't.
And
seem...
he's still got Ned Stark's word. Ned Stark told him, go kill the Mountain.
That's true. That's true. But he doesn't seem as like you have the Hound, like it's always been this like buddy heads, the two of them, like from the beginning of the show. Like when at the name thing, not the name day, but the Hands Festival or whatever.
Yeah.
The Hands Tournament, when the Mountain starts trying to kill Sir Lawrence and the Hound jumps in because it's like, nah, this is over, like you
Yeah.
should not be killing him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so it's always been like the two of them together. Even when they meet, you haven't gotten that far in your rewatch yet, but when they meet at King's Landing, and he's like, you're still in there? Yeah, you're still in there. You remember me? And like, he's like, you know where your story ends, kind of thing. Which okay.
He says it right there.
So what's his story? Why does he know where it ends?
I like what I said now that I said it. Mountain kills Hound, Arya kills Mountain.
I like that too. It sucks for the Hound because the Hound didn't get that redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he got tons of redemption. Yeah, he went from being like a complete shithead to a character who's actually got purpose and
no, the redemption from his brother, because his brother's the one that fucked him up, and made set his face on fire. The revenge.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, not redemption, but revenge. But yeah, no, I think he's also one of the greatest redemption arcs that they have in there. Yeah. I love where how they took him from this total piece of shit to him marching with Brienne into King's Landing, and they're talking about Arya, and he's like, well, who's watching her now? And she's like, she's watching herself. And
and even when he was the quote unquote the bad guy, he wasn't always he wasn't really the bad guy. He's the only one that went out and looked for Sansa in that riot and saved her. Nobody else was gonna go after her.
It's always been for every good thing he does, there's also a shitty thing that he does.
Because he just does what people tell him to do. Or whoever he would do whatever Joffrey told him to do.
Right.
Unless
chase down the baker's boy.
That was the first time he disobeyed, I think.
Was when he went to go get Sansa?
Yeah. And the big thing that happened before that was killing the butcher's boy. And even though they never let it show that affected him, maybe that was the turn of it.
Maybe, but I don't think he directly disobeyed by going to get Sansa. Joffrey just didn't send anybody out.
I thought Joffrey told him don't go
No, I don't think so.
I don't think.
Correct us in the comments.
I think because Joffrey just walked away without ordering anything. Because Tyrion was you need to send somebody out to go get her, and Joffrey just walked away, and then the Hound went. And
That's probably what I was thinking of then.
Yeah,
was that part where because I knew there was something where he pretty much implied, "Don't go out," or don't worry about it.
He just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Another character whose ending I'm super interested in was Samwell.
Oh yeah,
Sam.
I think
he's not gonna because he didn't get to become a maester. He left before he became a maester.
Yeah.
He, as far as we know, does not know that Dany killed his family.
No, but
he doesn't know yet.
I really don't think he's gonna care.
I think he's not.
That's
he wouldn't
true.
care about his father. He might care about his brother.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Because he and his brother were on good terms.
I could see Tyrion talking him down from that.
Yeah.
I could see Tyrion being
because Tyrion
he died with honor, kind of. You know what I mean?
Well, Tyrion counseled her against it. He told her not to do it, and she still did it. He was not down with that.
Did they kind of leave us on that, where Tyrion's kind of worried about her decision making and being a little too aggro? Because he had that exchange with Jaime shortly after that fight, where the dragons came through, and then that incident with the Tarleys.
Well, and that's where he talks to Jaime and tells him, she chose a hand that will keep her from her worst instincts.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that definitely is something he's worried about. I was talking with a friend of mine who does not like Dany, and doesn't want her on the throne because she thinks she's too crazy. And I feel like Dany's at a point now where she can fork off in two directions. Where she's at right now, she can go full Targaryen, be a terrible, just murderous leader, or she can be a benevolent leader. She can kind of temper herself. She can surround herself with people who are going to advise her against, basically becoming the Mad King. But I think where she's at now, she could go either way.
Maybe that's why her and Jon end up together, or why she continues to want to be with Jon, because she wants to check herself and she knows that Jon will check her.
Why does she need a man to do that, though, David?
No, don't try and flip this around. Don't try and take yourself out.
Good God.
Let's calm down, Robert. Let's calm down. Do you need more wine or something?
Get me more wine.
That's awful.
It's empty.
I mean,
then go refill it.
I don't want. So I was watching the season again, and I'm like, ew, gross, aunt, nephew. But also, they play it up. The scenes that they do together, they don't really have a lot of dialogue, but just the way they filmed it, you're like, no, I don't want to like this.
I know.
I don't want to like that this is happening. I know you're related.
Yeah.
But
okay.
the chemistry.
Okay. That's the thing. That's where you have to go. Okay, hang on. Wait a second. This is a different universe.
Oh my God.
And Targaryens did this all the time. And they did this in medieval times.
Webb over here trying to convince himself that incest is okay.
I'm trying to justify that level of incest for this particular reason.
Somebody please sound clip just that line right there.
No,
clip
because
that one, please.
Because that's what you're doing. You're just not vocalizing it.
No, I'm saying I wish I didn't. I know better.
Yeah, but you still want Dany and Jon to end up together.
I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. We'll see how it goes with them once she figures out that he's the heir to the throne.
That's the big elephant in the room right now. And when you guys think we're gonna figure that out? When you get?
I hope
think it's
episode 1, if not 2.
Yeah,
because
I hope
episode
they figure that out quickly.
Is 54 minutes, so we have a general normal episode.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 are both
4 hours long each.
An hour and 20 minutes. And they're the longest in the season. So the longest episode we're getting is an hour and 20 minutes. The last 2 are that long, and that's also how long season 7 finale was. And that's the longest episode they've ever done.
And season 7 finale, I was just like, damn, there's a lot. This is a long episode.
It went a long time. And then, so it kind of goes, the first 2 episodes are like 54 minutes and 58 minutes. And then you kind of get like an hour 6 minutes, and then you get into like the hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. So we have 1 less episode than we had in season 7, but the same runtime as season 7.
Steven in chat has my back. He's like, well, at least they're not twins.
It's terrible.
I'm just saying.
But she's his aunt.
There's worse things. Deflection, Emma. Deflection.
I'm definitely not.
Liza Aaron and Robb Stark. That's what you're.
Liza Aaron and Robb Stark.
Yeah, that's what you're advocating for here.
Well, Liza Aaron was batshit crazy, so she was letting her 15-year-old son nurse.
I'm just saying.
So, I'm just saying. There were other issues with Liza Aaron.
So we have a lot to look forward to is basically what this comes down to. I'm very excited to see how this goes. I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't believe it's happening. I can't believe it's 4 days away. I can't.
4 days away.
Just a couple more sleeps.
And it's such like a phenomenon. The show has become such this cultural phenomenon that brings like so many different people together. It's crazy. So if you hear the Reigns of Castamere right now, that means that this has come to an end. Nobody's gonna die right now. So if you're watching us on twitch.tv/videogame_bang, nobody's gonna die.
Unless you've heard Cory coughing, in which we don't know what's going on. We'll see.
I shouldn't have let David give me my tea today.
His cupbearer. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to our prequel of Bang of Thrones.
We really just wanted to sit around and talk about Game of Thrones.
We really
Pretty
did.
much.
That's basically.
And we're going to keep doing it all throughout the season. So patreon.com/videogamebang. A single $1 will get you all of the content that we're going to be putting out over the next few months. How long this is only going to go? Like a month and a half,
6
right?
6 weeks, 6 episodes.
Yikes.
And they had better not have a break in between episodes at any point.
They go on the hiatus.
They're like, we'll be back in 2 weeks. No, motherfucker, you get 6 episodes, I get 6 weeks.
Yeah, none of this mid-season finale bullshit.
Emma will march on HBO.
I will.
March on the wall.
Sure, march on the wall.
And then, if this goes really well and you guys enjoy it and we enjoy making it, we can expand this out to other franchises. We can start a little book club. Who knows? So we just want to gauge your guys' feedback. So let us know what you guys think on Twitter. You can let us know via what how else could people contact us? Instagram?
No, Twitter.
We're not hard to find.
There are DMs on Instagram.
Yeah,
DMs.
just hit us up on.
Hit us up.
Hit us up on what on Instagram? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. But
we don't really
let's not direct people to Instagram.
Yeah.
Let's direct people to Twitter.
Everybody's gonna go to the
Video Game
Instagram.
Bang.
You realize
they
that
are.
now
That's
that you
fine.
said that. What's
Go
on
for
there?
it. Do
What's
it.
on there?
Nothing bad. It's just like we have
dick
it.
pics. David's dick pics. He just puts them out there.
Okay, it happened one time. I tried to delete it. I don't know how the cloud works.
But yeah, we're the guys you want to message. Send us a message, and we'll definitely respond. But I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun show to do. Emma, you have a stream coming up on Saturday that you want to promote.
I have a charity stream coming up this Saturday, April 13th. I would very much appreciate it if you guys would come by. I'm raising money once again for the Sacramento SPCA to celebrate Millie's birthday, because that is where I got her. So last year when we did this, we raised over $1,000. We raised $1,060. It was a crazy day.
And you had to play.
I played Dark Souls.
Dark Souls like 4 times.
Yes. Oh, many more times than that.
Many more times than that.
Many more times. But so April 13th, twitch.tv/emmaskies. I will be doing a charity stream for the Sacramento SPCA from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please come by. I would love to see you guys. It's gonna be a good one. I am baking a cake for my dog, and I will give her a whole party. It's gonna be great.
Is she gonna get sick again this year?
I hope not.
She might. Is that when she got sick all over your Elite controller?
Yes, it is.
Aw.
I think I gave her too much, so I'm getting a different kind, and I'm giving her less.
All right, so go check that out. And that is it for this week's episode. So, for the real David Webb, emmaskies, Cory Vincent, see you guys on the throne.